Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Welcome again in this online classroom. First of all, I am very glad to see you all taking active part in the online classes, working with your assignments and submitting them in a short period of time. We are really happy with your response and feedback, and we are very hopeful that you will continue your interest and keep on with this online classroom of Classic School. So now coming back to our today's lesson, let's start without wasting any time. We are continuing in the chapter number 5, that is input devices, and our lesson 2 starts with our topic for today, that is barcodes. We will discuss in details what is barcode, what is the structure of the creation of barcodes, what are the techniques behind the barcodes, and what are the most common applications of barcodes. So, moving to the next slide, a barcode is a method of representing the data in a visual format that is only readable by a machine. And why in this way? The primary aim is to hide the core information from common viewers but pass that information to a particular machine. Okay. And most interesting thing is it is a 50 years old technique and continue for so many years in different fields, and still it has its importance. How a barcode looks like. You can see vertical lines on the bottom of this slide, and there is a number. The first question arises in our mind, why there are lines and numbers in this way? Actually, the exact information is translated in the form of these bars, and below there is an alternative code to approach that information. How and why we will see in the next coming slides. So let's move. In the older times, the barcodes were not there, and in the slide you can see there is a sticker. Let's suppose it is pasted over a product which is of the price $20, and it is in a large retail chain Costco in USA. If there is rush in that store, someone can take out this sticker from that product and take another sticker from a $5 product and paste that over this $20 product, and then he will be in the queue of billing. The billing person will see that its price is printed as 5, and that person will cheat the store by paying the $5 and getting an item that was of $20. This is where the people need barcodes. Now we move to the current situation. In this next slide, you can see Hyperstar, and you can see there is a yellow hanging of price. I can see 54,999 maybe for that LED that is placed below that. Now the LED is provided with a barcode, and that will be in the same format as we can see in the bottom of this slide. The first benefit is no one can change that price on that product. You can take that LED to the billing counter and they will scan it and they will charge you for 54,999. So this is a replacement technique of that cheating by the customers of changing the price tags. Another advantage is, suppose the store has increased prices of its items by 10%. If they were using this technique, they are needed to change the tags and each and every product and paste the new tags. Sometimes in Pakistan, you may have seen there is a sticker pasted over the old price on the packing of a syrup, Earlier it was 50 rupees, and now there is a small sticker pasted over the 50 with the price of 95. So when we are using the barcodes, we will change this 54,999 with the 10% increased price, but the tags will remain the same on all the items as you can see in this hyperstar. So the barcodes help us and save us from this large activity of changing the tags from thousands and thousands of products in a super mall. So this is the a basic advantage to every mall that they are using the barcodes on their products. Let's move ahead. Why we need, I have already explained what we will summarize on this page. Shopping malls protect prices. I have already told you in detail in the previous few minutes. Shopping malls alter prices without changing the tags. Fine, that is good. Details stored for billing. Also, that tag gives the computer the detail that you have purchased Samsung LED of this 4K version and its price is this, and all that detail is printed on your bill. Originality code to identify a product. If there is a multinational company like iPhones or Apple company with their product of iPhones, they place barcodes which also identify that this product was sent to sale in Pakistan. If that phone is somewhere located in USA in some criminal activity, they will, uh, you can say, locate its barcode and they will come to know that this iPhone was purchased back in Pakistan. GIS information for globally distributed, similar meaning that is explained in the above point, that you can also locate the original location of that product from its barcode. Now there is a question that the barcode was removed and uh, sent in the dustbin by the buyer. How can it be located after 3 years of its purchase? When a company scans its IMEI number, their computer will show the barcode with the sales details also to the company. And from there, they will get those details. Now, coming to limitations, I have always explained in the class that every technological product or application has some limitations. Nothing is 100% perfect in this digital world. So what are the limitations? First is a barcode takes minor bytes to store. Maybe this is an advantage also, that it is a very minor detail of information and takes very small space on the storages. It can only store the numeric data. It can gets the details in numbers. You cannot store multiple images and so on. There is another technique, QR codes, that we will study in the future lessons, where we can uh, store multimedia information also. It can only store limited information, yes, price, detail, product name, and that's it. It is read by a device called barcode reader. We cannot understand what is the meaning of a barcode. Only that device will move that information to the computer. And that can be of two types: a handheld, a gun type in the hands of a billing person, or there is a static box like device on the counter of a shopping mall where some helper of that uh, billing man takes a product and there is a sound of beep, and that means that it has been scanned. Barcodes print with magnetic ink only. There is a particular kind of ink. Not every ink can be used to print the barcodes. A particular magnetic ink is required that is viewed by the barcode scanners. If you are not using that ink for the printing, the barcode scanner will show blank. Even there are stripes and numbers, but that barcode reader will not locate them. Coming to the next slide, how a barcode looks like in the machine. In this slide, you can see there are on the right side three barcodes are shown in red, while in the left side they are in different colors. A barcode reader throws infrared rays to capture the details, and most modern smartphones are also able to decode barcodes using their built in camera. A modern smartphone can also generate the infrared rays, so they can be a replacement to those scanners, and we can use them on individual levels to some kind of our own applications. Now, these are the barcodes on some bottles of Coke, and when we click that laser device, on the right side, you see the entire red, that is the throw of infrared light. And when this returns back to that device, those black holes are translated into the machine and then the details are captured. In this way, every barcode scanner works. Now, after discussing those shopping malls, there should be some other applications also. And when now we come to the second application, and that is called International Standardized Book Number, or abbreviated as ISBN. On your O levels, Cambridge books, on the back side of your titles, you will see a similar barcode of stripes that is known as ISBN. And what is that? Barcodes that encode a book's ISBN are also widely pre-printed on the books in journals and other printing materials. That barcode called ISBN is assigned to a book. And if we come to that explanation, you can see in the middle 95055, that is the global registration of that book publishing company. And then on the left side and right side, there are two and two more details. EAN prefix, registration group, publication, check digit. These are some technical terms. We can briefly summarize it as collectively, it shows a book, where it was printed, which company printed it, in which region it was sent to sale, how many number of books were sent in this region, and if some pirated books are being sold in that region, that company can come and scan those pirated books. Even if the quality of that pirated book is so much improved and better than the original one, still that barcode translation will inform that this is a fake book. So, for the registered and branded books, this ISBN number is a security check that protects them from the fake producers. Coming to the third application, in the West and America, every person which is their national is provided free health services throughout his life. In the previous times, they created a file with the history of all his medical activities from since his birth to his current age, and that file was maintained in that hospital where that person was living. If that person moves to some other state or city, that file was also shifted to the hospital of that area. It was very hectic to keep record of that files for every individual, but now they have translated it into medical codes. What is a medical code? A person's history is input into a computer's software, and first time that person is in the hospital, maybe at his birth time, he is provided with a medical band, as you see in this picture, ranging from the patient's identification to access patient's data, including the medical history, drug allergies, and so on. And this band is kept securely by the patient. When he comes to the hospital next time, he brings that band. When soon as it is scanned, all his history comes in front of the computer in the clinic of that doctor. So in some emergency situations where patient was not able to describe his certain particulars, this medical band helps them to translate that patient's all records. If A patient has not that medical band with him and he got accident midway in his car and he's brought to the hospital. They will find his social security card and trace the social security number, input that into their computer, and then that alternate technique will also produce his medical history in the same way the medical bands are producing. Also, if that band is broken or lost, a copy of that band can also be obtained from the hospital. So it is a very useful and convenient service provided in the some of the modern countries. Now, in the conclusion of our lesson, we will discuss some common code styles working in different parts of the world. I have summarized these four for you. If you see on this presentation, there are three headings which are more important: example, symbology, and bar widths and uses. Ignore that continuous or discrete. I will also explain the meaning of it. First is the Australian Post barcode. What is this? It is four bars placed together in repeated manner from top towards bottom. You can read the uses. An Australian Post barcode as used on a business reply paid envelope and applied by automated sorting machines to other mail when initially processed in fluorescent ink. When there is an envelope having a barcode and it passes through a scanner, it is immediately translated that this parcel is for maybe Adelaide, and on the conveyor belt, it will be thrown to that mail that is collected for Adelaide without involving any person. This is designed by the Australian Post and they are using it. Number two, Coda bar. It has two different widths for the bars. One is the thin and one is the thick. It is an old format used in libraries and blood banks and on air bills. It uses only two shapes of bars in a repeated manner. The third is the code 25. What is this? It is a modern technique where 25 different widths for the bars are used collectively, and they have more range to store data, and these are used in wholesales and those kind of shopping malls. And in the bottom of this page is code 32. This is the biggest form of barcodes. It uses two bars, one is thin and one is thick, and it also uses the white spaces between it. It is an Italian style of barcodes that they use on the medicines, the pharma code. It is primarily used in Italy and is specific for the medicines to identify them. So coming to the last thing, what is continuous or discrete barcode? In the discrete barcode, there is a small gap between every two consecutive bars. While if you come to the continuous one, there is no such space between the bars and they are almost connected to each other, but they are differentiated with two shades of black. One is maybe dark black and one is the dark gray. So that consumes less space and more bars are used to handle the large range of barcodes. So this is the detail that is relating to our syllabus. There are so many more details and things and examples, but this is the precise information that we will prepare for our exam. If you are still interested in more details, it's very easy. Go to the Wikipedia and then put up the search as barcode, and you will have a series of pages. There is so much more information that is for your general knowledge building. Being student, if you prepare this lesson, that is 90% enough for our task. But Do visit this Wikipedia page at least for one time so you can see what is more that you can add to become the top student of the class. That's all for today. Do prepare it very enthusiastically, answer the worksheet, submit it soon as possible, and I will be there on the online classroom to answer your questions in private comments. See you there, and thank you.